The first two drivers out there warming up their tires. They're going to get a couple practice laps in, and then we're going to go into qualifying. Those of you guys that are on the live stream, thank you so much for joining us. We are excited to be back again in 2025 here at the iconic Las Vegas Motor Speedway, where we get to watch drifting. We get to hear LS motor sounds all day long. Pulling up to the line for one of his first practice runs is going to be Nikita Listochkin. Listochkin coming to us from Los Angeles, California. He is a 1986 Mercedes 190E. Not something you see too often. And out there with them, I do believe, is Mr. Gorky. Again, this is just practice, little tandem practice, but a good chance for them to get a little shakedown. That's Kevin Gorky in a Chevy Corvette from Houston, Texas, giving chase. And Nikita in the lead position. And it's just already getting crazy. We got drifting going on the track as the drivers get a little practice, and these guys in the burnout boxes are already ready to do battle, going absolutely nuts. We got Leonardo in a Nissan 350Z and Blaze Potts in a RX-7 making their way over to the start line to get some practice in before they start qualifying. Schaefer's making his way over to the burnout box alongside Stein in that X-Comp Tire Cadillac. Those of you guys watching on the live stream, thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, share. We can't ask you enough. That's one of the best things you can do for us here at Holley is just spread that love. This event gets bigger and badder every year. It's been a beautiful weekend so far. Barely a cloud in the sky. There's honestly been more clouds on the track than in the sky, which I like that. I think that's the way it should be. I can already see Blaze Potts and that RX-7. Of course, all the vehicles here are LS powered. So those of you guys that are here for the first time, LS Fest is one of the only, I think, the only power plant-based event, basically meaning that it's got to be an LS or LT, some form of V8 haphazardry that just is ready to do battle, lay down some thunderous runs, and it's just been V8 sounds all day. So if you're on the live stream, man, you really got to make it out here. If you never made it to Vegas, bring your chapstick, I'll tell you that, and stay hydrated. Coming from sunny South Florida, I'm used to humidity, so when I come over here, it's definitely a different climate. But the mountains are beautiful, the sky is amazing, and the driving is top-notch. So we're here letting these guys get a couple practice runs before we can go into qualifying. If you watched last year, you'll notice the layout was a little different, a little faster. Seems a lot more fluid. Drivers are definitely enjoying it, so we're going to hope it makes for an amazing show. And those of you guys here live, thank you so much. Hopefully we're building some new drift fans. And I'll try to help you understand what's going on. I know a lot of the guys have been watching Drifter for a while. I may say some things you'll be like, yeah, man, I know that already. But there's a lot of new fans, and that's really what the Holley LS Fest Drift Challenge is about, is bridging that gap between different motorsports, giving people an opportunity that may have not typically gone or sought out a drift competition. Well, Holley LS Fest brings it right to them. And we're always excited to be here. My name is Tim Murphy, and I'll be your host for this evening and tomorrow's competition. I look forward to walking you through everything as I try to navigate all this craziness and explain exactly what's going on. Thank you guys for joining us. Again, Holley LS Fest West Drift Challenge 2025 gets bigger and badder every year, and we love it. I do believe that is Schaefer out there. He's going to lead. When you guys are looking at the track, you're kind of wondering who's in the lead position, who's in the chase position. When it comes to battles, if you're looking at the track, if you're looking at the back of the vehicles, the driver in the right lane, he will be the lead driver, and the driver in the left lane will give chase. The judges are asking the drivers during tandem competition, they're going to want a nose-to-tail initiation, meaning they're going to want the drivers to initiate, the lead driver to initiate, and the chase driver to initiate right behind them, not side by side. Gonna make first some exciting door-to-door action. I see Jeff Jones, Mr. Child out here, getting ready to warm up their tires. Jeff Jones came in second last year in the red Kumo tire 370Z. He was our second place finisher. Got taken out last year by Matt Kaufman. Matt Kaufman is not competing today. So can Jeff Jones take it home and get a little redemption from that second place finish from last year's Las Vegas LS Fest West Championship? Regardless, it's going to be a stellar day with amazing drifting. Up at the line in that green and black Rennspec Chevy Corvette. That's Mr. Mensenhung, first time drifting here, coming to us all the way from Taiwan, I believe. And teaming up with Kevin Gorky. Kevin Gorky let him use one of his vehicles. He's been drifting for about 3 years, so he's excited to come out here and throw down LS Fest West. As you can see, this last minute practice is definitely going to help these guys get, work out those last minute jitters or any bugs they need to get taken care of in that vehicle, make sure it gets all squared away. We have the hot pits back here so the drivers are able to change tires and take care of any minor issues. See out there in that Kumo tire 370Z, that's Mr. Jeff Jones. Child will be giving chase just next to him. As I mentioned before, Jeff Jones, our second place finisher in the 2024 LS Fest West Drift Challenge. Can he take home the #1 spot today? So he's really going to be the man to watch right there in that Kumo tire, red 370Z. Can he take home the gold? Well, we're going to find out, but he's got to get past qualifying first. So as these last few practice laps go down, we'll go right into qualifying. We're going to do a single run qualifying. The way qualifying is going to work today is you're going to get one driver at a time. They're going to get 2 back-to-back runs. The judges have laid out the course with 3 outside zones. Those 3 outside zones are there for the drivers to focus their attention on. The judges want the drivers to place their back bumper right in that outside zone. The outside zones are usually marked by a beginning marker and end marker. So basically, they're going to try to run their bumper right over the outside line without going off course. 2 tires will be completely off course. Could give them a 0. If they spin out, they get a 0. If they straighten out, they'll get a 0. If anything else crazy that happens in the car, could possibly result in a 0. But right now, Jeff Jones and Child giving chase as they make their practice run. Jeff Jones, nice smooth initiation, as always, to be expected from a Formula Drift Pro. Child doing a great job in the chase position, applying a little bit of pressure there. Again, this is not competition, this is just practice. Let these guys get some last minute jitters out, make sure they get their cars and engines all dialed. Whoa, Child looked like he's going for a pass there as Jeff Jones running a little wide, kind of slowing up. Breitenstein over here warming up his tires. Definitely a regular here at the LS Fest Drift Challenge. In the chase position, Mr. Tristan Shalonik. Shalonik, very interesting backstory. Got to catch up with Shalonik and his crew. Shalonik coming to us from Riverside, California. Had a brain tumor when he was, I believe, a year or 2 old, so he's able to overcome various health issues, obviously, surrounding that. And he's basically out here just to let everybody know that don't let anybody tell you can't come out here and do this or whatever it is you want to do. But right now, Shalonik needs to have to get on the metal, or put the pedal to the metal there, and get back in the groove if he wants to be able to advance in today's competition. Up at the line, Breitenstein. Not so bright racing. He's going to be in that lead position. Breitenstein suffering some battle scars from Hot Pit Auto Fest, but able to put that car back together to put on a show for everybody here today. Cody Breitenstein in that lead lane, the right lane there with that pink and green livery. Nissan 240SX coming to us from Hawthorne, California. Rocking an LQ4 with about 550 horsepower. And he's running Zestino tires. Bright Racing, Circuit Performance, and Holley, some of the partners that have jumped on board to help Cody with this program. A lot of these drivers are from a wide range of backgrounds. We have drivers that are competing for the very first time, some drivers that are fairly new to drifting, and we have some seasoned professionals. So you're going to get to witness a broad spectrum of drifting. You're going to see it all, folks. You're going to see just about everything you could possibly want to see at a drift event. You're going to see some hard-fought battles, and you're going to see some amazing world-class driving here at the Holley LS Fest West Drift Challenge, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Wow, I can hear some nitrous purging in the background. It's one thing about these LS power plants. They can take just about anything you throw at them. I hear nitrous, turbo, supercharged, all motor builds. That's what it's all about. Run what you brung. Do you got what it takes to tame the beast that you chose to build? Well, come on out here next year if you haven't made it out this year and do battle. Push yourself to the limit and to the test with some of the best drivers in the nation. Up at the line now, I do believe that is Tim Wallen in that green Corvette, and as Josh the Commander Stewart in that lead position. Josh Stewart in that purple Chevy Corvette. Nice little flick initiation there. Tim Wallen's going to try to apply that pressure. Again, this is just practice. This is just for fun. Though you wouldn't really tell by how aggressive these drivers can get. But wow, Josh the Commander Stewart doing a great job in lead position. Looks like he's putting on a smoke show. Tim has got to navigate his way through it. Wow. Those of you guys that are watching on live stream, thank you so much for joining us. I can just ask you one favor. Please share the live stream with everybody. That's probably one of the best ways you can support Holley LS Fest as it just grows every year. The crowd is just absolutely amazing. And this is Friday. Wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be absolutely nuts. If you were here last year, you may vaguely remember Matt Kaufman taking home the #1 position, Jeff Jones taking home second, and Joshua Stewart taking home third. So we got two of the top 3 drivers out here today. Matt Kaufman not able to make it, so that kind of leaves the door open. So will it come down to Josh the Commander Stewart versus Jeff Jones? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. You're going to have to come back tomorrow. I mean, it's not just today. I mean, this is fun and all, but we're qualifying today. We're having these guys do some fun practice laps, get the jitters out. But tomorrow is the main event. That's where you want to either tune in on the live stream or you want to come here. If you're even in the area, you can make it over here. I highly recommend you come here live. Right now in that chase position, that Honey Customs 318 Ti of Mr. Ross Kenyon. Definitely one of the smallest vehicles out here, utilizing a BMW 318 Ti, different, an interesting platform, a very proven platform, coupled with an LS power plant. Really can't go wrong. Looks like the lead driver had to shut it down there for a second as Kenyon Ross kind of goes by him. Kenyon Ross from Salt Lake City, Utah. I'll tell you what, Las Vegas definitely has some of the best looking spectators. You guys look like you are hardcore LS fans, and we are hoping we have turned you into some hardcore drift fans. And if this is your first time drifting, I'm going to do the best I can to try to educate you, help you kind of navigate the basics. When it comes to drifting, the idea is to keep the car sideways. We don't want you straighten out. You straighten out, that's a zero. You might as well go home. We're not here to watch you grip the course. We want to see you drift the course. Well, folks, if you just made it over to the drift course, this is practice. We got a few laps of practice for the drivers to kind of get their last-minute jitters, kind of feel out the course. The course is a little cooler than it was earlier this afternoon, but I don't think it's really going to faze these drivers. These drivers have been pretty solid all day long. So we're going to give them a few laps of practice, let them warm up their tires, make their last-minute tuning setups, whatever they need to do battle for tomorrow. Then we're going to get into single run qualifying. Single run qualifying is basically just what it sounds. It won't be tandem. It'll be a single run. Each driver will have 2 consecutive runs in which the drivers will be given 2 scores, and the judges will utilize the higher of the 2 scores to place them in a competition bracket. I'll tell you, one of the things I love about drifting the most, not just the drivers, the way they're able to navigate the course, being control of being out of control. It's kind of like how I live my life on a daily. I'm kind of trying to stay control of my out of controlness. But these guys come out here, everybody gets to kind of show their little style and the way they wrap the vehicle. So you have their driving style, the style of the vehicles, obviously different platforms. Some drivers opting for BMWs or Chevy Corvettes. Looks like we might have a little something going on a vehicle of Cameron Sorensen. Sorensen, part of a family team. Amanda Sorensen just in the burnout box, but hopefully Cameron Sorensen, hopefully he can get the vehicle up and going. Hopefully it's nothing major. But they do have the hood popped. I don't know if I saw a flame in the camera or not, but track officials are taking a look at it, as you can see. Cameron Sorensen out here in his BMW E46, about 900 horsepower, running GT radial tires. Partners that have jumped aboard to help him out: Spider, Lockdown Performance, Radium, Odyssey Batteries, and VP Racing Fuels. You can find him at Cameron Sorensen on Instagram, on social media. He's done some Colorado Pro-Am Drift, Hot Pit Auto Fest, Full Lock Drift, and Drift League. So he's, and he was actually the winner of Colorado Drift Pro-Am Series. So making his way through the ranks at a very young age. Very talented family, the Sorensens. But hopefully we can get that car back over to the hot pit and get it started. See him in the car. All right, give it up for Cameron Sorensen, folks. Give it up for him so he can get the car back over here to the hot pit, hopefully get that vehicle squared away and get it back on the course so he can do battle. All right, as we're getting that track squared away, get back into practice. And then we will begin qualifying soon. We just want all the drivers to get a quick feel for the course.
Redesigned from the ground up, MSD's Ultra 6A boasts a significant size reduction, making it 60% smaller, 50% lighter, and 35% more efficient. Find out about MSD's latest products at Holley.com.
The #1 EFI conversion just got better. With 14 new features, all new electronics, and a complete ecosystem with display options, fuel systems, even transmission control, you can't go wrong with Sniper 2 EFI. To learn more about converting your engine to EFI, visit us at Holley.com.
I was broke, pocket full of lead. Now I'm on the bricks, getting paid like a underdog. Now I'm stacking chips.
The #1 EFI conversion just got better. With 14 new features, all new electronics, and a complete ecosystem with display options, fuel systems, even transmission control, you can't go wrong with Sniper 2 EFI. To learn more about converting your engine to EFI, visit us at Holley.com.
Redesigned from the ground up, MSD's Ultra 6A boasts a significant size reduction, making it 60% smaller, 50% lighter, and 35% more efficient. Find out about MSD's latest products at Holley.com.
I was broke, pocket full of debt. Now I'm on the bricks, getting paid like a underdog. Now I'm stacking chips.
The #1 EFI conversion just got better. With 14 new features, all new electronics, and a complete ecosystem with display options, fuel systems, even transmission control, you can't go wrong with Sniper 2 EFI. To learn more about converting your engine to EFI, visit us at Holley.com.
Redesigned from the ground up, MSD's Ultra 6A boasts a significant size reduction, making it 60% smaller, 50% lighter, and 35% more efficient. Find out about MSD's latest products at Holley.com.
I was broke, pocket full of debt. Now I'm on the bricks, getting paid like a underdog. Now I'm stacking chips.
The #1 EFI conversion just got better. With 14 new features, all new electronics, and a complete ecosystem with display options, fuel systems, even transmission control, you can't go wrong with Sniper 2 EFI. To learn more about converting your engine to EFI, visit us at Holley.com. The #1 EFI conversion just got better. With 14 new features, all new electronics, and a complete ecosystem with display options, fuel systems, even transmission control, you can't go wrong with Sniper 2 EFI. To learn more about converting your engine to EFI, visit us at Holley.com.
On the live stream, we do apologize. We had a driver, one of the last drivers, spill a lot of power steering fluid all throughout the course. So we had to take our time and clean that up because it was like right in the outside zones. Not a great place to drop some power steering fluid. Not really anywhere on the track is really not a good place to drop power steering fluid. But nonetheless, we are back up and going. It's an unfortunate fact of racing that these guys are pushing their car's limit, and stuff happens. But we're back in the driver's seat as the drivers are getting last minute practice. We haven't started qualifying yet. If you're just tuning in to the live stream, this is day 1 of LS Fest Drift Challenge, and we are letting the drivers get a couple laps of practice in before we go into single run qualifying. Single run qualifying is basically going to allow the drivers to utilize the better of 2 scores. They're going to get 2 back-to-back runs, which should begin shortly. I know most of the drivers have already got a few laps of practice, so it really just comes down to make sure everybody's dialed in, ready to go, and then we'll get into our qualifying portion of the Holley LS Fest West Drift Challenge here at the iconic Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Of course, we want to thank Holley and all the sponsors out here, Fortunato, all helping us to provide an unprecedented audience. It really is a festival. It's a festival of all kinds of V8 sounds and just craziness. We got drag racing, drifting, autocross, amazing car show, burnout box, and of course some off-road racing. Everything powered by a V8. Can't get much better than that. If you were here last year, if you tuned in last year on the live stream, you'll notice that the course is a little different. It's a little faster, which should make for some more exciting battles in tomorrow's competition. Right now you got Blaze Potts in that lead position, going out for a practice run. Nice initiation. Again, once we get into the qualifying portion, it's really going to be on the drivers to go put down some solid lead runs. They're going to want to place their vehicle in the right portion of the outer zones. You got 3 outside zones, no inside clips. Pretty much clearly marked. We had a good drivers meeting. All the drivers seem like they're well informed and ready to do battle. Schaefer out there in that lead position, gonna take one of his final practice laps. John Schaefer in that lead position, coming to us from Colton, California. It is 1995 Nissan 240SX. It's got an LQ4 6.0 with about 700 horsepower. Beautiful livery. And not too far behind is Menson Hung. Menson Hung, first time out here. Whoa, Menson, kind of awkward initiation there. John Schaefer kind of pulling away, doing a good job trying to fill out all those outside zones, looking very smooth. John Schaefer, a regular here at the Drift Challenge. Menson's going to have his hands full with the drivers here today. Menson, first time out here. Not new to drifting about 3 years. But the level of competition and driving out here is world class. I see Tim Wallen in the chase position over there in that purple and green Chevy Corvette. Tim Wallen coming to us from Sacramento, California at about, wow, stepping up his game. Tim Wallen at about 1,000 horsepower, just over 1,000 horsepower in that purple and green Chevy Corvette. Sponsored by Holley Performance, Michigan Motorsports, and Origin Solar USA. Been drifting for about pro years. Definitely one of the regulars, one of the fan favorites here at LS Fest West Drift Challenge. All right, we got the course workers out there just making sure the track is set. Want to make sure that track stays consistent for all the drivers as they go out. They don't want any surprises. They want to be able to put it all out there as they make it out there. Tim Wallen in that purple and green Chevy Corvette, rocking 1,000 horsepower. Wow, look at that smoke show. As I was mentioning earlier, there seems to be more smoke on the track than in the sky. I mean, the clouds are just, they're flying low today. What can I say? Tim Wallen doing a good job in the chase position, making their way off the course. I do believe that his child going to be in the lead position. Andre Porciuncula from San Leandro, California. Only about 400 horsepower, rocking Nitto tires. But, unfortunately, Andre spinning out. Well, he wants to make sure he gets all those spin outs done now because that would have been a 0 in qualifying. But Child looks like he's putting down an amazing lead run there, so definitely one to keep your eyes on. Out there in a Drift for Life BMW, that's Tristan Shalonik. Tristan Shalonik from Riverside, California. About 500 horsepower. Title sponsor, Drift for Life, as you see across the side of that vehicle. Looks like he's fallen back a little bit in the chase position. Needs to get back on the throttle, get back in the pocket. Again, this is just practice. We will get into qualifying shortly. At the line, we got Jeff Jones, Mr. Hot Pit Auto Fest himself in that Kumo Tire 370Z in a lead position. And Cody Breitenstein will be giving chase. Cody Breitenstein, vehicle taking a little bit of beating in some of the competitions lately, but he was able to get the car all squared away, and he's ready to do battle. Jeff Jones, as I mentioned before, our second place finisher in the 2024 LS Fest West Drift Challenge. Matt Kaufman last year taking home number 1. Can Jeff Jones take home number 1 spot? Because Matt Kaufman is not here. So can he slide into that, get a little redemption, slide into that number 1 spot this weekend? We're going to find out. Jeff Jones, Formula Drift Pro driver out here in his seat time car, I believe. And then Cody Breitenstein going to give chase. Again, this is kind of just winding down practice. I think maybe a couple more cars going to get some practice laps. We're going to get into qualifying. It'll be a single run style qualifying. Each driver will get 2 consecutive runs back to back. The judges will score both runs. We will utilize the higher of the 2 scores, which will put them in tomorrow's competition bracket. When we come back tomorrow, we're going to battle it out. These drivers are going to put it all on the line put on a show for everybody. Hopefully we're building some new drift fans. We're really excited to be here year after year. LS Fest West gets bigger and badder every single year, and we can't do it without everybody that's watching on the live stream and those of you guys who are watching here live. Friday tends to be the more laid-back day. Like, this is the day you want to come and you want to get your, your swag, or you want to really go and check out all the vendors. Tomorrow is going to be absolutely insane. Tens of thousands of people are going to come here, packing the stands, the pits, the paddocks, the vendor aisle, everything. It's going to be absolutely insane. You don't want to miss it. If you're local and you can make your way over here tomorrow, and maybe you're on the fence, you're not really too sure if you want to come by, I highly encourage you to come by. If you're watching the live stream, please like, share, subscribe. We can't do this without you. We want to thank Holley. Holley putting on this festival of V8 madness for us to all come and just watch everything from drag racing to drifting. Absolutely amazing. All right, Jeff Jones out front. Cody giving chase. Again, this is just practice, but these drivers, I mean, you can tell. I mean, whoa, look at Cody diving in the pocket, straightening out, looks like a little bit, unfortunately. Jeff Jones looking pretty smooth as they make their way past that first outside zone, transitioning into the second outside zone. As you can see, Kumo Tire 370Z of Jeff Jones putting down a nice little smoke show. Cody Breitenstein trying to dive in the pocket as they make their way off the course. One of the things that we love about drifting is it's that run what you brung motorsport. We have drivers with about 300-400 horsepower and drivers like Tim Wallen with 1,000 horsepower. All these guys, they basically have to do battle with the weapon they chose. And quite often you will see underdogs take out these like massive engine builds and these high horsepower vehicles. So horsepower doesn't necessarily give you the win. You got to be able to tame that beast that you built. And sometimes having a little less horsepower makes the car a little easier to drive. And sometimes chasing down a slower vehicle can be a little difficult when you have these higher horsepower vehicles with that extra grip. Some people have a misconception about drifting. Oh, you want the car to break loose really easy. Oh, you want to go out driving in the rain. Well, all that is fun. I will not, tell you that is not fun. Absolutely fun to drive and drift in the rain. But these drivers want to be able to maintain as much momentum in drift as possible. And you can see in some of the vehicles how they have that mechanical grip where they, in drift, will just kind of slam on the throttle and surge forward, right? So some of these vehicles really using a lot of that mechanical grip, utilizing some massive tires, some extremely low tire pressure. I mean, I think some of these guys run tire pressures in, below 10 PSI. I mean, once they get hot, they get a little, PSI goes up a little bit. But these drivers are utilizing every technique possible to try to gain the advantage. And that's what we love about drifting. Run what you brung. No holes barred. One vehicle you don't see too often is that Mercedes 190E, LS powered. I think it's the first time we've seen this vehicle out here, or at least first time I've seen a vehicle out here. But Nikita coming to us from Los Angeles, California. LSA powered, about 962 horsepower, utilizing those GT radials to get that power down to the pavement. Sponsored by Gorilla Energy. You can hit him up at Nikita Goes Racing on social media. Said he's only been driving for about 2 years, and he said he wanted to come here because the crowd and the fans just make it so much fun. All right, Nikita out in the lead position in that Mercedes. Very easy to pick out amongst the crowd of Corvettes and BMWs. Doing a great job in that lead position is Nikita. Nikita Slushkin coming to us from Los Angeles, California. Nice, whoa, a lot of angle there into that third outside zone, but able to keep it sideways. Kenyon Boss in that 318i, that Honey Customs BMW from Salt Lake City, Utah. That 318 Ti compact, I'd probably say that's the smallest vehicle here in the competition. With only about 350 horsepower, he's utilizing Zestino tires in order to get that power on the ground. He's got about 4 years of local grassroots experience, did a round of Formula GIF Pro-Am in Utah. And he said he's been coming to this event for years and always wanted to come drive it, and here he is. So shout out to Kenyon Ross and his family. Hopefully we see him back here year after year. I know. Well, out on the track now in that lead position. Looks like we got Amanda Sorensen coming to us from Las Vegas, Nevada. She's a local in that BMW E46. Amanda rocking GT radial tires with about 900 horsepower. So those GT radial tires are definitely going to have their work cut out for them. Partner up with U.S. Air Force Rockstar Energy GT Radial Odyssey battery and inky wheels as she makes her way down the straight in the lead position. Nice initiation by Amanda Sorensen. Another Formula D driver out here. Can she take it home? We'll see. She's going to have some pretty strong competitors out here today. We got Jeff Jones, we got Rome CP, we got quite a few heavy hitters. And I think this will probably be the last lap for practice, and then we're going to get into our single run qualifying. Thanks everybody for joining us out here today. It's been a beautiful day. I really hope everybody makes their way back out here tomorrow. And if you can't make it back out here tomorrow, don't worry, we got your drift action covered. You can go to the Holley LS Fest West 2025 Facebook page, go to the YouTube page, and you'll be able to tune into the live stream. If you are tuning in a live stream, please like, share, subscribe. All right, so I am getting official word. This will be the last vehicle before qualifying starts, so he's going to go ahead and take his last practice run, so hopefully he can make good use of it. And then we're going to get into qualifying. All right, and with that, looks like we're going to go ahead and start qualifying. We're going to let the track workers go out there and just touch up the course, make sure all the lines are where they need to be and all the cones are exactly where they need to be. And we're going to get into qualifying. Well, we're not done drifting yet. We're going to get into qualifying. We're going to go ahead and get these drivers 2 consecutive runs, allowing them to utilize the higher of the 2 scores. The way the course is laid out this time is we have a nice long run-up. Judges don't want the drivers drifting the whole run-up. The idea is try to build up some speed, use that momentum to carry yourself through the course. There are 3 outside zones throughout the course. Each outside zone is marked with a start and finish of each outside zone by cones, and they're going to try to get the back of their vehicle right on the edge of the course. Smooth transitions in between. Drivers had a chance to talk to the drivers in a drivers meeting, so the drivers know exactly what the judges look for. Judges look for the drivers to get the back of their car deep into the outside zone. Nice smooth transitions, utilizing the whole course. They don't want to have them just on the outside of the track. When they transition, they want them to go across the course, make, nice angle, good throttle, a lot of smoke. And if they can do it correctly, they can walk away with the highest score, number 1 qualifying position. That'll place them in a bracket for tomorrow, where the first place qualifier will do battle against a 32nd place qualifier, second versus 31, and kind of works its way to the middle until we have a Holley LS Fest West 2025 champion here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We have 2 of returning top 3 finishers from last year. Jeff Jones finishing 2nd and Joshua Stewart finishing 3rd. Both back out here ready to take home the number 1 spot. Who will it be? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to get into qualifying. Looks like the course is pretty much set to go. And it does look like our first driver is going to be Kevin Gorky. Kevin Gorky right here at the start line. He'll have the opportunity to go to the burnout box and warm up his tires. He'll get 2 consecutive runs. As I mentioned before, the judges will take the higher of the 2 scores and use that to place him in tomorrow's battle bracket. All right, here we go. Kevin Gorky in the Renspec Chevy Corvette. Going out there to warm up his tires. Kevin Gorky coming to us from Houston, Texas. Definitely not a stranger to LS Fest. With about 600 horsepower, he's running Zicknova tires to try to get that power down to the ground. Sponsored by Renspec Wraps, Red Line Oil, Zicknova tires, and of course his sugar mama. Well, hey, I guess that helps. You can hit him up at Kevin.RSI. Been drifting for about 10 years, so he has the experience. He has what it takes. He has the vehicle. And here we go. Looks like we're about to officially start the Holley LS Fest West Drift Challenge 2025 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Kevin Gorky doing a nice aggressive entry, making his way through that first outside zone. Falling a little shallow there, a little bit, but looking smooth as he comes around. Getting ready to attack that second outside zone. Smooth transition. Wow, right on the edge of the track. Falling out a little bit towards the end, but nonetheless, smooth transition. A solid first run by Kevin Gorky. Give it up for Kevin Gorky in that Renspec Wraps Chevy Corvette. He's going to make his way back over to the start line, get his second run for qualifying. I think he got a pretty good score. Looks pretty solid. Can he beat it? Well, at least he's going to, you know, he knows he's going to seat himself in tomorrow's battle bracket. And now he just has to maybe push it a little harder, see if he can get a little bit better of a score. Got some areas of the course he could have gone a little deeper into the outside zones. Maybe go utilize more of the course, but on the throttle, rocketing down the straight, Kev Gorky. Nice aggressive entry, making his way through that first outside zone. Wow, looking smooth there. Definitely looks a little better this time around. Switching back, utilizing most of the course. In little shallow through that second outside zone. Making his final switch back into that third and final outer zone. Like to see him a little deeper, but nonetheless, two solid runs by Kevin Gorky in that Renspec Wraps Chevy Corvette. I do believe that is Tim Wallen out there now. I've been mistakenly calling a different vehicle, so I do have to apologize to Tim personally. You know, it's kind of hard to see sometimes, you know. Tim Wallen with just over 1,000 horsepower, making his way down the straight. First run, coming to us from Sacramento, California. Nice entry on the throttle, almost completely on the edge of that first outside zone. Kind of coming out of the outside zone, midway through the zone. See how he does. Nice smooth transition, making his way. Ooh, nice. Deep into that second outside zone, but kind of falling out towards the end. Final transition. Give it up for Tim Wallen as he makes his first full pull here at the Holley LS Fest West 2025 Drift Challenge. Tim Wallen sponsored by Holley Performance, Michigan Motorsports, and Origin Solar USA. Great to see some partners outside of the motorsports industry helping these drivers with their program. 7 years driving, 5th year at LS Fest, so he is a regular here at LS Fest. Tim Wallen, nice, whoa, flames coming out the back of the vehicle, but that's okay. Got it under control. 1,000 horsepower, it's gonna breathe some fire at you. Wow, he is really on it now. He's trying to top his first score as the final transition coming off the course. Nice job. Good job, Tim Wallen. Really banging that rev using all 1,000 horses. All right, making his way down the straight. Nice initiation. Nice to see some different vehicles out here. Oh, straightening out, looks like almost completely. Looks like he's really battling the front end of that vehicle. Not sure if he's going to get some points there. Can't quite 100% tell if he's straightened out, but he's very close to doing so. But he at least has one more shot. Come away with some points. Let's see if he can top that first run. All right, back to the line. Let's see if he can top his first run. Definitely a little shaky through that first outside zone. He knows where he needs to improve. Darren Parsons pulling up to the line for his second run. Darren Parsons from Ridgecrest, California. 1989 Chevy, doing pretty good. About 800 horsepower. I don't know if this is an error on his questionnaire, but we asked him tire brand. He said Amazon. Anyways, partnered up with Holley Heatwave, American Racing, and PRP Seats and Texas Speed. Darren making his way around that first outside zone. Looking better this time around. Banging that rev limiter. Much smoother is Darren Parsons as he makes his way through that first outside zone, switching into that second outer zone. Looking pretty good. Car looks really sharp, I'll tell you that. Whoa, a lot of angle. No! Oh, Darren. Looking like he was going to have a full pull. Unfortunately, having a pull out of drift, making one too many transitions. I'm not sure how that's going to affect his score, but it can't be good. Next up, we have, I believe it's Andre Porciuncula. Andre coming to us from San Leandro, California, in that 1998 Chevy Corvette with about 300, almost 400 horsepower, utilizing those Nitto tires to put that power down to the ground. Backing up a little bit there. As you can see, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Nick Swan, sending him along his way. Andre making his way down straight, kind of a little timid out the gate. Maybe playing it safe for his first qualifying run. Initiating, there we go, making his way through that first outside zone. Looks like he's backing on the throttle. Definitely one of the lesser horsepower vehicles out here with just under 400 horsepower. Definitely making good use of every bit of it as he transitions into that third and final outside zone. Giving up for Andre Porciuncula from San Leandro, California. Partnering up with Broke Boys, Sticker Farmer, Illegal Speed Shop, East Bays Tire and Wheel, and OC Custom. You can hit him up at Obey Andre on social media. Been drifting for about 8 years. Said the car was at SEMA, and he loves LS Fest because he loves the LS engines and he loves tire smoke. And that's why we're here, because this LS platform has been truly amazing. All right, Andre making his way through that first outside zone. Let's see if he can utilize the whole course. All right, not too bad. Making his way through that second outside zone. Kind of shallow. Like to see him a little deeper through the zones. Nonetheless, he is going to get some points on the board. Give it up for Andre Porciuncula, representing Broke Boys. And we got Child coming up in his red Nissan 240SX. Child getting ready to do his first lead run, or first qualifying run. Makes his way down straight. Nice. Coming out of the start line, nice and aggressive. That's what we like to see. Throwing it sideways, making his way through that first outside zone. Really on the throttle. Look at the amount of smoke already coming out of the back of that vehicle, as he is not afraid to put the pedal to the metal. Wow, running that outside line, doing a great job. Child is, man, he might be one to watch here. I mean, what a nice lead run as he makes his way off the course. All right, Child's gonna make his way back to the start line. Definitely exciting to watch. Sponsored by Gatsby Racing. You can see it nice right on that side door there. The car sounds like an absolute beast. All right, as Child makes his way down the straight for a second qualifying run. Nice aggressive entry there. As he gets back on throttle, man, he is not afraid to just hammer down through that first outside zone. Good, trying to completely fill out the track from left to right. Wow, nice and deep. He's really nailing that second outside zone. I think he's probably been one of the better drivers as far as attacking that second outside zone. Here we go. Child making his way off the course sponsored by Gatsby Racing. Our next driver, Daniel Chadwick. Daniel Chadwick from Rio Vista, California. He's got an LS2 stroker with about 550 horsepower. Utilizing Ziknova tires, trying to put that power down to the ground. Partnering up with him is Precision Machine Shop, Unique Car Shop, and of course, Ziknova. You can find him on California Hot Boy, California with a K. Here we go. Daniel making his way down the straight first qualifying run. Not afraid to put the hammer down. Nice initiation. Coming through that first outside zone. Wow, his really seems like he's got suspension dialed in. Almost lifting up that outside. Whoa, really going pretty deep into that, towards the end of that first outside zone. Doing a good job. I guess he must have heard me talking about Child, because I'll tell you what, Chadwick really nailed. No! Oh, no! Oh, man. Daniel Chadwick looking extremely solid through his first qualifying run. So this is where it gets a little nerve-wracking, right? You get 2 runs. You got 2 chances to make it into tomorrow's battle bracket. First run, 0. Not where you want to be. We know he can do it because he just killed the first and second outside zones. So now he just needs to get some points on the board. Is he going to play it safe, or is he going to put all out on the line? Well, that's a strategy. You know, sometimes you just can't tame the beast once you get behind that wheel. You just can't restrain yourself, and you just go all out. Well, Daniel Chadwick, he's going to need to dial that beast down a little bit. But drifted for about 3 years, and he said he came here because he needs, the experience. LS Fest provides an unprecedented amount of experience, gives you opportunity to battle pros and battle your bros. And the ladies. We got Amanda out here. She's thrown down. Definitely a contender. All right, Daniel Chadwick says Holley is the best, making his way down the straight. Let's see if he can get a nice full pull as he makes his way through that first outside zone. Really? Oh, man. Daniel, hold it together, buddy. Hold it together. Play it safe. Smooth transitions. Don't get crazy. Don't give it too much sauce. All right, hold it together. No. All right, give it up for Daniel Chadwick getting a full pull. All right, good job. All right, in that Honey Customs BMW 318 Ti. That's Kenyon Ross. Kenyon Ross coming to us from Salt Lake City, Utah. With about 350 horsepower, definitely one of the underdogs. Probably got one of the smallest vehicles out here, but I'll tell you what, that little 318 Ti is a proven platform. I know one of the fans of that platform, Chelsea DeNofa. If you've been around drifting at all, you'll know that name. But anyhow, Kenyon Ross get about ready to take his first qualifying run in that Honey Customs BMW. About 4 years of local grassroots drifting. Did a round of Formula Drift Pro-Am in Utah. And, he's been going to this event for years, and he decided to come out and just throw down. And we're glad to have him. Said if he does win the money in today's competition, he's going to take a trip to Festival of Speed. All right, here we go. Kenyon Ross making his way down the straight, utilizing every bit of that power as he makes his way into that first outside zone. Very shallow. Needs to get deeper into those zones. Whoa, really? Man, he's really flirting with a 0 there, almost going completely off course. Come on, Kenyon Ross. Dial it back in, buddy. Get some points in that board. Back on throttle, making his way through that third outside zone, punting a few cones. That's all right. And makes his way off the course. Ross said he wouldn't be out here driving this event if it wasn't for his amazing crew, putting a ton of time and effort into helping getting the car ready. He basically says, you know what, my crew kicks butt. Trying to keep it a family show, but I think you get the point. Kenny Ross out there, second qualifying run. Little shaky that first qualifying run. Not sure. He was kind of flirting with the zero there, almost straightening out, almost going off course. So if he could just dial that back, clean up that run a little bit, get a little more points on the board, place himself higher in that bracket, we're about to find out. Kenyon Ross making his way down the straight. All right, pulling that e-brake, nice initiation. Making his way kind of midline through that first outside zone. Looking definitely much better this time around. Coming out that first outside zone pretty shallow. Not too much angle snapped into that second outside zone, but you know what? Much smoother this time around. It's Kenyon Ross dropping the tire, no worries. All right, give it up for Kenyon Ross as he makes his way off the course. All right, we have Nikita Stotskin from Los Angeles, California, 1986. Get this, Mercedes 190E. You don't see that too often over here in the States. There's a handful out there. It's always exciting to see different chassis utilized, and I just love that LS motor. He's rocking an LSA with about 960 horsepower using those GT radial tires and that Gorilla Energy 190E, throwing it sideways. Wow, definitely has the speed as he just floors it through that first outside zone. Doing a good job staying completely in and outside zone. Tapping the brake a little bit there coming out of first inside zone. Slinging into the second outside zone. Like to see him a little deeper there. Nonetheless, very smooth. Nice. Whoa, no! Nikita. Not where he wants to be on his first qualifying run. You can find him at Nikita Goes Racing on social media. Drifting for about 2 years. Just started competing recently. And I will tell you, there's nothing that builds you as a driver than competition. Being faced with high-stress situations, having to put down consistent runs back-to-back. And he said he's out here because the crowds and the fans are just absolutely insane. Nikita Lestochkin coming to us from Los Angeles, California, about ready to take his second and final qualifying run. Can he put it down? All right, nice, smooth, doing very well in the first half of this course. Good speed. It really seems like he's rocking it through. Let's see how he does. First transition into that second outside zone, looking smooth, looking good. All right, final transition, hold it together, Nikita. Yeah, on the throttle, yeah! All right, Nikita got a full pull in that Gorilla Energy Mercedes 190E. All right, we're making our way through the competition, doing pretty good here. Running pretty smooth. Sun's starting to set over the desert, over the mountains. Absolutely picturesque here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. All right, here we go. First qualifying run. Leonard. Nice initiation by Leonard as he makes his way through that first outside zone. Man, really looks like he has some good speed. Doing a good job filling out that first outside zone. Let's see a smooth transition. Wow, good jump on that second outside zone as well. Final transition before the third and final outer zone. Leonard doing a good job. Nice solid run by Leonard. Leonard making his way back up in that black 350Z. Seems like he got a full pull first time around. And here he goes, making his way down the straight. All right, well, like to see a little more angle coming through that first outside zone, but he's staying nice and deep into that first outside zone, so he's got a good line. Let's see as he transitions to that second outside zone. Wow, tire right on the outer edge, looking good. Oh, showing some love to the crowd as he sticks his hand out the window there. And here we go, making it off. Leonardo, nice run. Pulling up to the line now, we have Roberto Guerrera representing, got Goofy Boy written across the side, I believe, that vehicle. Coming to us from San Pablo, California. All right, here we go. Making his way down the straight. First qualifying run. Nice, aggressive, right out of the gate. Good initiation. All right. Let's see how he does. So far looking kind of shallow through that first outside zone. Coming out wide. See if he can dial it back in. Much better through the second outside zone. All right. Well, not too bad. Definitely leave some room for improvement. All right. Roberto Guerrera making his second pass. You know, he's got a different car here. He's got a Lexus IS 300 written down on his spreadsheet. Obviously, that's not a Lexus IS 300. Looks like he's rocking a 350Z. About 4 years of drifting, sponsored by Raceworks. I'm sorry. Making his way through that first outside zone. Looking a little better this time around. Like to see him a little deeper, through a little more angle. Nonetheless, he's getting the job done. Nice smooth transition through the second outside zone. Roberto looking good, looking smooth. Making his way off the track for his final qualifying run. Yeah, I do believe that is Cameron Sorensen. He had a little bit of trouble with his vehicle earlier. Looked like he's able to get it squared away. This will be his first qualifying run. Good to see him out here. Kind of worried for a little bit because I don't know if he had a fire, but look, we had a little scare there earlier during practice. But Cameron Sorensen from Las Vegas, Nevada, his 2004 BMW E46. Looks like he's got a complete E92 conversion. Car looks good. 900 horsepower. Woo! Wow, 900 horsepower. He's going to have to tame that beast as he makes his way down the straight. He's going to need to use every bit of those GT radial tires as Cameron makes his way through that first outside zone, placing the car exactly where it needs to be. And getting back on the throttle now. Smooth transition to the second outside zone. Nice angle. Final transition into the third outer zone. All right, Cameron, looking good, looking smooth. Cameron partnering up with Spider, Lockdown Performance, Radium, Odyssey Batteries, and VP Fuels. You can find him at Cameron Sorensen on social media. He won the Colorado Drift Pro-Am Series, so he's got what it takes. Loves the instant torque the LS provides and makes his way down the straight. Cameron Sorensen Second qualifying run. Can he top his first score? Nice initiation. Definitely looks a little more aggressive into that first outside zone this time around. Cameron, whoa, really getting deep into that first inside zone, completely filling out the track from left to right, falling a little shallow through that second outside zone. Nonetheless, very smooth. Car looks good. All right, give it up for Cameron Sword. All right, little celebratory 360 on his way out. All right, looks like we got Tony Levesque out there. Tony Levesque from Las Vegas as well. Definitely a local. In a 2004 Nissan 350Z LS6 powered with about 400, just shy of 400 horsepower. Utilizing those Accelera tires to get that power down on the road. You can find him on social media, tick_fab. And, he's just out to have a good time. It's his hometown. It's in his backyard. Why not come out here and have a blast with everybody else? All right, here we go. Tony making his way through that first outside zone. Looking pretty smooth. Looking pretty smooth so far. Let's see if he, wow, let's see. I don't know, the wheels hopping a little bit, but nonetheless, nice smooth transition. Making his way through that second outside zone. There's all kinds of, I don't know if he's got strobe lights underneath that vehicle or what? Underneath the tires? I see some flashing going on there. I don't know what's going on. Oh, yeah, looks like some strobe lights. I do want to let everybody know we do have, I'll give you a little update. Right now, our number one qualifier is Kevin Gorky. Child is in our second qualifying spot, and Ross is holding on to the third place qualifying spot. Those are our top three qualifiers. Kevin Gorky sitting at number one, Child sitting at number two, and Ross sitting at number three. Can they maintain their positions in the bracket? Well, we'll see. We still have some heavy hitters to come. And Tony Levesque has got his second run. Tony Levesque, hometown boy, Las Vegas, Nevada. Rocking those Accelera tires, looking for some partners to hop on board, help him with this program. Is that only competitions he's been doing, or right here at LS Fest for the past 3 years? Those of you guys watching on live stream, thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe. Share. Make sure you spread the love. Show Holley how much we appreciate them for putting on Holley LS Fest West 2025. This drift challenge, it just gets better and better every year. The driver list gets longer and longer, and the cars get wilder every single year. And we look forward to it. It's like a family reunion every time we come out here. We get to see everybody, shake hands, give some hugs, share some beers. All right, here we go. Tony out there for his final qualifying run. Nice initiation. Whoa, getting really deep into that first outside zone. Oh, no. Tony coming out of drift, straightening out. I mean, I think he'll be okay. I think he probably got some points on the board in the first run. But definitely don't want to see him straighten out. Not going to do himself any favors. Nonetheless, coming off the track, Tony, hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow in competition. do believe that's Stein out there in that X-Comp Tires Cadillac. Out there for his first qualifying run. Jeff Stein looking pretty solid through practice. I'm not expecting any major mistakes. Don't want to jinx him, but he's been pretty solid through practice, so I think he'll be fine. Weather is just absolutely beautiful. If you're watching on a live stream, man, you got to make a trip out here to LS Fest West. I mean, it's just absolutely beautiful backdrop as the sun sets over the mountains. Here we go. Jeff Stein, nice aggressive launch down the straight. Smooth initiation, pretty wide there. Got to keep, man, really flirting with straightening out there. Nice and smooth, switching back into that second outside zone. A lot smoother this time around. Definitely rocking that American flag loud and proud on the roof of that vehicle. Give it up for Jeff Stein as he makes his way off the course in that X-Comp Cadillac. All right, Jeff's got one more chance to top his first run. As I mentioned before, this is a single run qualifying. All drivers get 2 consecutive runs back to back. Judges are going to score both runs. Judges are going to then take the higher of the 2 scores, and that'll place each driver in tomorrow's competition bracket. All right. Looks like we're just getting okay from the track, and here we go. Jeff Stein making his way down the course for his second qualifying run. Definitely has room for improvement as he attacks that first outside zone. A little more timid this time, but looking smoother than his first run. All right, Jeff Stein switching back into that second outside zone. Definitely looking better this time around, flicking into that third and final outside zone, holding it together. All right, Jeff Stein making his way off course in that X-Comp Tire Cadillac. All right, we got Gann out there now. Jason Gann making his way down the straight in that red Chevy Corvette coming to us from Discovery Bay, California. Jason Gann looking pretty good. Good speed through that first outside zone. Man, that wind's kicking up. So I was blowing my laptop over. All right, here we go. Jason Gann looking good. Really laying down the hammer as he attacks that third and final outer zone. All right. Jason Gann, powered by an LS3 with about 680 horsepower. He's rocking those Accelera 651 Sport to get that power all down on the road. You can find him at 5M_DriftJ. 5 years of experience, but he said this is his first official competition. He's a huge fan of LS Fest. And he said he's just going to start competing full time. He just loves competition. Here we go. Jason Gann making his way down straight. Nice initiation. Whoa, getting a little squirrely there. Getting a little too deep into that first outside zone. Almost looks like he shut it down midway through that first outside zone. So he's going to go ahead and finish off his run. As he makes his way to that third and final outer zone. Definitely nice aggressive transitions, but definitely not better than his first run. First run, I think, is where he's going to get those points to put him in the bracket. Next up, we have Jeff Jones. Jeff Jones in that Kumho Tire 370Z. Jeff Jones, pro Formula Drift competitor. not in his pro car. About 400 horsepower in that Kumho Tires 370Z. It's kind of like his seat time car. But I do believe this is the same car that he used to take home that number 2 spot last year. Jeff Jones back for some redemption. Matt Kaufman, unfortunately, last year taking him out, but not joining us this round. So right now, the number 1 spot is up for grabs, and I know Jeff Jones has his eye on it. All right, here we go. Looks like Jeff Jones is going to get the okay for his first qualifying run. Here we go. Jeff Jones in that Kumho Tire 370Z. Mr. Hot Pit Auto Fest himself. Not only does he compete at a pro level, not only does he come out here to throw down with his bros, he also runs his own events. I don't think there is one aspect of drifting Jeff hasn't touched. There's a joke there somewhere, but I'll let that one go. Jeff doing an amazing job filling out those outside zones. Looking good as ever. Completely filling out that third and final hour zone. Wow. I expect nothing less. Jeff Jones, a world-class driver, coming out here, having a blast. And one thing I can tell you about Jeff is he's always having a great time behind the wheel, as we all are when we're driving. Hopefully, like I said, we're building some new drift fans. If you guys are new to drifting, I really, really want you guys to come back tomorrow, because that's where the real show is going to take place. But here we go, Jeff Jones, second qualifying run. Nice aggressive initiation. Laying on that e-brake a little bit, getting that car set and locked in the angle. On throttle. Whoa, look at the smoke he's pouring out of that vehicle through that first outside zone. Nice carrying it through. Smooth transition. Jeff doing a great job putting the car where it needs to be. And man, really putting on a smoke show for all of those fans here at the Holley LS Fest West Drift Challenge 2025. A little 360 action for everybody. Give it up for Jeff Jones. I tell you, he's a wild man. Wild man. Loves to have fun. That's some wind there, boy. Looks like we got right at the line now, making his way down the straight. Seth Wright coming to us from Las Vegas. We have a lot of locals out here doing battle. Looking pretty good. Pretty smooth. I hear him on the throttle. Rocking that LS6 with about 420 horsepower. Another driver utilizing those Zick Nova tires. Nice angle. Smooth switch back into that third and final outer zone. All right, Seth Wright doing a pretty good job on his first qualifying run. Seth, title sponsor, Huntington and Ellis. And also lip-smacking foodie tours. You can find him on social media at Seth Wright Timing. That's actually, I like that. Seth Wright Timing. All right, here we go. Seth Wright making his way down the straight. Looking pretty smooth. Nice transition, nice initiation into that first outside zone. Doing a good job completely filling out that first outside zone. Wow, Seth looking pretty solid as he attacks that second outside zone. Looking smooth, looking nice and deep in there. Final transition, that third and final outer zone. Wow, give it up for Seth Wright. Nice qualifying run. Seth Wright, he's been drifting for about 10 years, and he loves driving this event because of all the different type of motorsports, and we get to share drifting with all other motorsports disciplines. He said his victory plans, he's going streaking. So I don't know if I'm going to root for him or not, but he definitely plans to go streaking if he wins. Seth Wright. Next up, we have Blaze Potts. Blaze Potts from St. George, Utah, 1987 Mazda RX-7. LS1 powered with about 450 horsepower, running Zestino tires. Holley, Fortunato, Sparco, Big Duck Club, Zestino, and Scoundrels all hopping on board with Blaze Potts to help him develop his program. Blaze Potts, definitely someone to watch, a regular here at LS Fest. About 10 years of experience, and he's been at every LS Fest West. And also Hot Pit Auto Fest as well. He's a Pro Spec licensed driver, and he's out here for his first qualifying run. Says he loves the LS engine, and if he wins, he's just going to buy more tires. He's running a Holley Terminator ECU, fast intake, quick time bell housing. A lot of these drivers utilizing those Holley performance parts. Blaze Potts said it's the best engine in the world. LS Swap the world. Fitting name, Blaze Potts, always putting down some blazing runs. Nickname, Dale Pop-Tart. I like that. I like that nickname. I wonder who gave him that nickname. All right, here we go. Dale Pop-Tart making his way down the straight from St. George, Utah. Very aggressive down the straight. Nice initiation. Back on throttle. Coming out of that first outside zone a little bit in the beginning, but looks like he's starting to dive back in as he transitions to the second outside zone. Nice, smooth, good angle, nice throttle. Final transition to that third and final outer zone. Blaze Potts, solid first qualifying run. All right, as Dale Pop-Tart, that's an interesting nickname. I wonder who, I gotta have to talk to him about that. Sometimes I wonder if these guys fill out their own questionnaire or if they have somebody else do it. Blaze Potts up at the line. Solid lead, solid first run. Let's see if he can better that on a second qualifying run. Man, rocketing out of the gate, almost like he's drag racing. I mean, he is just on it. Nice initiation, already back on the throttle. Blaze Potts much better through that first outside zone this time around. As he comes out of that first outside zone, he's going to transition. Trying to get deep into that second outside zone. I definitely think this is a better run so far. As long as he holds it together through that third and final run, third and final outer zone, and he does. All right, Blaze Potts from St. George, Utah in 1987 Mazda RX-7. I do believe that is Amanda Sorensen out there. It's a family affair. It's a family of drifters, all with amazing talent. Very, very, very strong competitors. Amanda, local here, Las Vegas, Nevada, with that BMW E46 with about 900 horsepower. Those GT radial tires are going to have to really do work today. Partner up with the Air Force, Rockstar Energy, GT Radio, Odyssey batteries, and EQ wheels. Amanda makes her way down the straight, attacking that first outside zone, getting in the throttle. Wow, doing a nice job right on the edge of the track. That's where she wants to be. As she makes that transition into that second outside zone again, placing her car, doing a good job filling out that second outside zone. Final transition into the third outer zone as she makes her way off the course. Give it up for Amanda Sorensen. We actually may see brother and sister do battle tomorrow. Amanda's going to make her way back up to the start line for her second qualifying run. Pretty solid first qualifying run. I don't know if she can top it, but we'll see. As those 900 horses under that hood rocket down the straight. Those GT radial tires doing work as we can see her completely fill out that first outside zone. Nice. Well, actually, I do think she maybe topped her first run because definitely deeper into the zones. Nice smooth transition, good angle, showing nice aggression laying down on the throttle. A couple cones out of the way, no worries. Little, maybe coming off that third outside zone, a little shallow nonetheless. Amanda Sorensen doing an amazing job, as expected. I do believe that is John Schaefer out there now. John Schaefer from Colton, California. 1995 Nissan 240SX, LQ4 6.0, 700, very specific, John, very specific. He has 709 horsepower and 640 torques. Torques. He's got them torques. As far as tire brand, he said whatever puts the tire down, they throw it on the car. Holley on board helping Schaefer get that vehicle where it needs to be. Also, Torque Storm superchargers. Animal Auto, FMS injection, and he put Chili's here. I don't know if he meant Chili's the restaurant or, I don't know. I'll have to talk to him later. You can hit him up at InstaShafted on social media. Here we go, John Schaefer making his way down the straight. Nice initiation. In the throttle. Looking good through that first outside zone as he makes his way through the first transition into the second outside zone. Good smoke, really laying down a hammer. Final transition. John Schaefer. Wow. I don't know, man. That was a very solid lead run. Very, very solid lead run by John Schaefer. John Schaefer driving for about 13 years, competing for 9. He's drifted in Top Drift League, hot pit competitor as well. He loves LS Fest. Yeah, I guess he really does mean Chili's. If he wins, he's going to Chili's and get more tires. This man loves his Chili's. He likes his baby back ribs. All right, here we go. John Schaefer. Nice initiation. Already sitting with a pretty solid first lead run. Not sure if he can top it. Whoa, going a little deep. Nothing wrong with that. Smooth transition in that second outside zone. John Schaefer looking dialed. Man, he's a man on a mission. He's a man on a mission and a man with Chili's on his mind. All right, give it up for John Schaefer. He said the LS is God's engine. And it just works. All right. Nick Klein making his first pass, first attempt at a qualifying score. Nick Klein, man, he is laying down the hammer on his first run. Not too shabby. They call him the Paint Doctor, coming to us from Carson City, Nevada, in that 1993 Nissan 240SX. Rocking a Texas Speed 408 stroker. Wow, with about 850 horsepower, he's really putting those Zick Novas to the test. Those Zick Nova tires they're gonna have to do work, man. Nick Klein, sponsored by Zick Nova Tires, Holley Performance, MRP Fuel Injection, 926 Motorsports, Nevada Auto Corrections. You can find him on social media at woo_Seth, woo_SEPH. Here we go. Second qualifying run, Nick Klein. Nice aggressive initiation as he attacks that first outside zone. Getting on the throttle early. Nick is really laying down solid runs. Definitely somebody we're going to want to keep our eyes on and starting that smoke show. Little shallow through that second outside zone. But he's probably roasted most of those tires off already. Those Zick Nova tires have got to be hot. Nick says he was once a spectator, now he's driving, and he never turned back. Nick Klein, great job. I do believe that is Menson Hung. Menson Hung at the line in that Ren Spec Chevy Corvette. Remember I said we have drivers from all over the world? Well, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This driver, living in Texas now, made his way all the way over from Taiwan. Now doing battle here at LS Fest. Thanks to the help of Gorky. Whoa, whoa, little too aggressive there. And anyone wants to dial that back down. A little too much yin-yang, if you ask me. Menson Hung, gonna have to be careful. He's gonna have to come back out there for a second lap. I mean, really playing a little dangerous there. Would like to see him dial that back in. Maybe not so aggressive on initiation, and just get some points on the board. Get in the bracket for tomorrow. He said there aren't many LSs in Taiwan, so when he got here, that was the only engine he wanted. It's the American dream right there. Menson Hung, second qualifying run. Well, almost. Checking out, looks like we're just in a little safety inspection here. Nothing gets past the eyes of the all-powerful Nick Swan. I want to thank everybody for joining us on the live stream. Joining us here live as the sun has set here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Holley's LS Fest, the one place where you can find multiple motorsports discipline at the same festival. All V8 sounds, all bald eagles, all weekend. There we go, much smoother. Oh, man. Menson. Well, he's definitely going to have to get out there and practice some more. Really straightening out through that first outside zone. But you got to give it up for him. Coming out here, not afraid to just battle it out and have, throw his hat in the ring in competition. Well, at the line right now, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing it. Usually pretty good, but I think I'm going to murder this one. Curaz at the line now. I'll have to talk to him later. Hopefully I can make sure I straighten that out if I'm saying it wrong. But the way it's spelled, I'm going to say it's Curaz. Or Curas, maybe. Out there for his first qualifying run. Probably one of the most stressful things about being an announcer is trying to get everybody's name right. I do what I can. Nobody's perfect. But here we go. Curas out there, first qualifying run, not shy whatsoever. Aggressive entry. Coming out of that first outside zone. Like to see him a little deeper through that first outside zone, but he's on the throttle, kind of midline, making his way into that first transition. Looking a little better in that second outside zone, right where we want to see him, a little deep. I'd like to see him maintain, getting deep into that whole outside zone. Doing a good job on the third and final outer zone. Definitely not afraid to lay down the hammer. Drops back up to the line. And I just say his name quick. So maybe you can't tell I'm mispronouncing it. Kuros right there, making his way down straight in that Chevy Corvette. Man, definitely aggressive entry, doing a good job. Throwing it sideways through that first outside zone. Look a little better this time around. Much deeper into that first outside zone. Definitely an improvement as he comes out into that first transition. Second outside zone, almost a mimic of his first run, not too bad. Final transition into that third outer zone as he makes his way off the course, punting a cone. Give it up for Quiroz. Yeah, I believe that's Marco. Somebody I haven't seen in a long time. Always good to come out to these events and just, like I said, when you come to these events and you start coming to these events over and over, it's like a reunion. Marco Teles from Orlando, Florida, very close to my hometown, South Florida, in that 2008 Chevy Corvette LS3, 500 horsepower, sponsored by Zick Nova Tires. Whoa, Marco, really shallow initiation through that first outside zone. Come on, Marco. I know you can do better than that. Looks like he's struggling fighting that car a little bit as he transitions into that second outside zone. Very shallow. I'd like to see Marco definitely, I mean, I think he got points on the board, but he definitely has room for improvement. As Marco, coming from Orlando, Florida, sponsored by BC Racing, Zick Nova Tires, DPF, 777 Factory, and Hall Tech. You can find him on social media at Drift Happy. And this is one of the old school guys. He's been doing this for about 18 years, back when Street Rise Drift was a thing. He's out here to have fun. And if he does win, he says he's buying a house. So he just doesn't want to be broke. So he just take that money and reinvest it. Here we go. Marco Teles, Mr. Drift Happy from Orlando, Florida. Much better. All right, Marco, much better. Much, much better through that first outside zone. Get on that throttle, buddy. Lay down the hammer. Transition. Night and day difference. Marco really stepping it up. He's almost playing with my emotions there, that first run. It's like two different drivers. Give it up for Marco Teles, coming to us from Orlando, Florida. Marco said he loves tacos. He's in the perfect place for tacos. I'll tell you that. All right. Tristan Schlonick, they call him T-Dog, from Riverside, California. Sponsored by Drifting for Life. Really interesting story. If you guys get a chance to make way over to pits, you want to meet this man. Surviving a brain tumor at the age of 1. Making his way, battling different health issues, coming out right here. Now, unfortunately, looks like he's battling that vehicle. Tristan's definitely going to have to dial in the reins on that vehicle. I don't know if he's going to go through some mechanical problems. It really looks like he's fighting that vehicle. Definitely didn't look like his practice runs earlier today. Tristan, been drifting on the sim. This is his first year competition, and he says, "'Tis the first one." This is his first competition. So I'm sure it could be a little nerve-wracking, but it really looks like he's fighting that vehicle. We asked him what made you compete at this event. He said he always wanted to drift, and we are also part of Burnout Wars, and he needs seat time. It says the LS is the best dollar-for-dollar horsepower. Here we go. Come on, Tristan. You have a lot of ground to make up. Man, he's really fighting that vehicle. Says he's at about 500 horsepower, but it does look to be a little under horsepower. Looks like he's really having a hard time getting that car sideways. Trying to get in the groove, transitioning now through that third outer zone. Unfortunately, coming to a halt there, spinning out in that third outer zone. That's all right, Tristan. Don't let this stop you. Don't let anything stop you. And that's something that he wanted to make sure everybody knows. Doesn't matter what you've been through. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything. So the worst thing that'll happen is you tried. Inspiring words. Right now we got Cody Breitenstein at the line. Cody, definitely a regular here. Cody Breitenstein from Hawthorne, California, doing a great job through that first outside zone. With about 550 horsepower, utilizing those Zestino tires. Sponsored by Bright Racing, Circuit Performance, Holley, Sunoco, and Simpson. Cody doing a great job, putting down a solid first run here in the Holley LS Fest West 2025 Drift Challenge. You can find him at social media, _Bright, BREIT. Driver for about 4 years. Attends Hot Pit Auto Fest Drift League, LS Fest West, of course. He's had a fourth place finish here in 2024 at LS Fest West, so he's back for redemption. Here we go. Cody Breitenstein making his way down the straight. Nice, aggressive initiation. Pulling on that right, trying to get that car in the pocket. Little bobble there early in that first outside zone. Definitely holding good angle now. Smooth transition to that second outside zone. Cody looking smooth, man. Nice angle. Utilizing that angle to kind of slow that car down. Cody, nice run. I think he did better the second time. I definitely think the second run was better. He said if he wins, he's going to take the money and go to LS Fest East. Next driver, looks like sponsored by Zestino Tire. Logan Hunter trying to hunt down a victory today. Coming to us from Thousand Oaks, California, 1990 Nissan 240SX S14 LS3 powered with about 450 horsepower, and he's using them well as he makes his way through that first outside zone. Wow, nice angle coming that first outside zone. Getting deep into that second outside zone. Wow, Logan putting down some solid run here. Wow, I don't know. Can he top that first run? It's going to be interesting. Logan rocking those Zestino tires. About 2 years of competing. You can find him on social media at LHunter, HUNTR.427. He said he loves coming to this event because of the talent of all the other drivers. And he said, you know what? I'm just hearing bald eagles all day long. V8 engine sounds everywhere. It's like surround sound LS. He says LS is the best motor. And he loves how he can just pretty much build it any way he wants. Also, Logan flipped his car at Hot Pit last year. Hot Pit Auto Fest, actually flipping his vehicle, and had to get it ready to drift again the following round. So, hard-working crew, hard-working man, hunting down a victory. Logan Hunter, second qualifying run. Here we go, attacking that first outside zone, laying on the throttle, looking smooth. Wow, Logan Hunter looks like he's on a mission to take the #1 spot. Smooth transition as second outside zone, almost right on the edge. Looking good, looking dialed. I mean, this man looks calculated. He is hunting for a victory. Make his way off the course. Give it up for Logan Hunter. Well, here's another Formula Drift driver here. Rome CP. He's been out here several times, and if you've been around Rome or you've seen him compete, I mean, the man's an absolute gentleman. Top-notch sportsmanship, and I don't know anybody that knows him any differently. Loves the sport, loves to drive, loves to put on a show for the crowd, and loves to represent Garagistic. Garagistic makes some great parts. Used their parts many times on my own BMWs. But here we go. Rome CP making his way down the straight. Nice. Aggressive. Down the straight. See how Rome does for that first outside zone. Looking smooth. Don't expect anything less. I mean, he definitely pushes his vehicles to the absolute limit as he makes his way through that second outside zone. Nice transition. Nice angle. Really laying down the hammer. Give it up for Rome CP on his first qualifying run. Rome coming to us from Rancho Cucamonga, California, 1992 BMW M3 LSA powered, 1,200 horsepower. Wow, he's not playing. He is not playing. And he's making those Kumo tires do work. Sponsored by Garagistic, Pedal Commander, Kumo Tires, Magnuson, and Holley. Find him on social media at Rome CP. Here we go. Rome making his way down straight, second qualifying run. Nice. Rome loves LS Fest. He said this is the first event he ever won back in 2017. Always exciting to watch Rome CP come out here, especially when you watch a battle. And right now, he is just roasting the course. What a clinic Rome CP just laid down. Nice. It seems to be a thing that's kind of catching on there. A little 360 toward the end. Very exciting. Love it. Ooh, I'll tell you what, man, that wind is roaring. Up next, we have the Commander Stewart. This man comes out almost every event I think that I can remember. He just does event after event. Josh the Commander Stewart coming to us from Las Vegas, Nevada, another local in that 2005 Chevy Corvette with about 800 horsepower, rocking those GT radial tires. Sponsored by Holley, BC Racing, Gyroline, I believe I'm saying that right, Advanced Clutch Technology, ACT, and Lockdown Performance. Find him at Stewart Fam Drifting. It's a family affair. I'm telling you, these guys, it's all about family. About 4.5 years of experience competing in Formula Drift Pro Spec, LS Fest, Hot Pit Auto Fest, Winter Jam. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. He got third place in 2024. I mentioned that earlier. Jeff Jones finishing second last year here at LS Fest West. Matt Kaufman taking home the win. We miss him. Matt Kaufman, if you're watching, we miss you, buddy. Your number one spot is up for grabs, unfortunately. I know Jeff Jones wants it. I know, more importantly, Josh, the Commander Stewart, wants it just as badly. He loves this event. He said if he wins, he's going to give Nick a huge hug and sink the money right back into the program. Here we go. Give it up for Josh, the Commander Stewart, making his way down the straight. Nice initiation. Attacking that first outside zone, looking smooth. Don't expect nothing less from him. Nice smooth line to that first outside zone. Make his way across the course. First transition into the second outside zone. Wow, almost on the edge. Good job, Josh Stewart, as he attacks that third outer zone. Wow, man, I don't know. We have some solid hitters right here, some hard hitters as we're getting towards the end of qualifying. Josh Stewart always showing us some love, and we always want to show him love back. Josh is rocking pretty much all Holley safety gear, Simpson neck restraint, all kinds of goodies for Holley. Loves the sound of the LS. Much love to everybody, and he is. You know what, Josh? You are putting on a killer show. Josh the Commander Stewart making his way through that first outside zone, laying down a hammer. What an amazing job. Look how he attacks that first outside zone right on the outer edge of the track, utilizing the whole course from left to right. Solid attack on that second outside zone. Smooth transition as we get a little flame out the back. Give it up for Josh, the Commander Stewart from Las Vegas, Nevada. Wow, what a beautiful event this has turned out to be. Beautiful weather. Nice little breeze coming through, blowing that smoke off the track. And we got Ryan Fisher at the line right now, and I do believe this is the last driver. This is the last driver. So this is Ryan Fisher going for his first qualifying run. Coming to us from Phoenix, Arizona is 2018 BMW Eurofighter. Not something you get to see too often. Got an LS7. This is, you got to make your way to the pits and check out this vehicle. Beautiful vehicle with about 550 horsepower, utilizing Zick Nova tires to get that power down to the ground. Sponsored by Fisher Firearms, Zick Nova, higher quality, Radford Racing School, Marina Racewear. Wow. Hey, did anybody tell him that he has one more run? Don't burn all those Zick Novas off yet, buddy. He's only been driving for a year. Wait, let me check that. Ryan Fisher. Yep. Wow. Actually, to the date, Ryan Fisher said he's officially been driving. So this is his 1 year driftiversary, you want to call it. Find him on social media at Ryan's Wheels. And here we go. Final run, final driver. Here we go. Said if he wins, he's going to donate that prize money to the Phoenix Child Hospital. Wow. I'm sure he's got those kids watching. Hopefully they're watching the live stream. As he makes his way through the course, really solid lead run. Beautiful vehicle, nice angle. I'd like to see him a little deeper through that second outside zone, but still smooth run nonetheless. Final driver, give it up for Ryan Fisher, and give it up for the fans here. Give it up for Holley. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Please come back tomorrow, and if you can't make it tomorrow, you can tune in and watch the live stream. Holley LS Fest West 2025 on Facebook, YouTube. Like, share, subscribe, and Holley, man, killing it. Once again, look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. With that being said, I'm going to get some food. Good night.
I was broke, pocket full of lead. Now I'm on the bricks, getting paid like no other dog. Now I'm stacking chips.
Redesigned from the ground up, MSD's Ultra 6A boasts a significant size reduction, making it 60% smaller, 50% lighter, and 35% more efficient. Find out about MSD's latest products at Holley.com.